Ready?
He's ready.
Ready. All right. Welcome on into episode 17 of When Worlds Collide, guys. Thank you for being here. As always, you know how we start these things with a little crack McGee. I actually have bourbon.
Craxies.
Yeah, I actually have bourbon, so.
I got you.
Oh, Frint's got a little crack.
It's crisp.
What is that flavor? Is that apple crisp?
Apple crisp.
Yeah. I was about to say, bro, like because I had gotten those for Haley, like I was saying. I was like, I'm pretty sure that one's apple crisp.
It is. Yeah, that worked out really well. And for anybody who hasn't tried these yet, the Bud Light Fall Seltzer ones are just awful.
Awful.
I do not recommend it. Yeah.
1 to 10, what are you rating them?
Ooh, 3, maybe. I mean, what's a 1? Are we saying 1 is like plastic bottle vodka?
Sure.
A one is like
then maybe like 4.
one is like
I'm gonna
Brooklyn River water.
Well,
Okay, so maybe like even 5 then, because I'm gonna keep drinking them. I'm just not gonna enjoy it.
I'm glad
It's not bad enough where I like just put it down altogether.
I'm glad you bumped up to a 5 because 4s don't exist.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah.
Honestly, the whatever maple one sounds pretty decent.
Before we get into the question of the day, guys, for anybody that's new to the podcast, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all that good stuff. Your support on those platforms is very much appreciated. And without further ado, we're going to get into the question of the day. So for the question of the day today, we have the news that LeVar Ball is re-upping on the Big Baller brand and has come out with a new shoe line. So our question is, what would your shoe line / clothing line look like? Frindt, I'll go to you first.
Ooh, well, I'm not much of an athlete, so I don't think mine would be anything that you would. Mine would just be kind of like your everyday shoes and clothes, regular old T-shirts. I think I'd probably stick with that same cupcake branding we had last week from the WWE.
Oh,
there you go.
Spice it up a bit. Or sweeten
like
it up, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Sick ass logo. That would probably be my tagline. Would definitely be something along those lines, like the sweet life, like something about desserts.
Oh yeah, I like it. I like that idea. Put it in the works.
But just keeping it plain. I don't expect it to be out on any field or court because I never played on any. So mine would be focused on the bench players. Something you wear after the game to still look good.
For the little guys.
The starters. Exactly. Mine's for the bench players that shine off the field.
Oh my god, there you go.
Right?
Perfect idea.
All right, Fish, how about you, man?
Yeah, you want me to go next? All right.
Yeah.
So I have something a little more exotic than Frint's cupcake idea. My shoe / clothing line would be titled "The Troves of Atlantis," right? and it would be all things pertaining to like underwater themes and like Atlantean city themes. So, like a lot of flow designs going in with the shoes, maybe some like seaweed in there, seaweed colors and stuff like that. Some gold coins on the shoe heels and stuff like that. Maybe even like a trident on like the toe part of the shoe. And stuff like that. Maybe some aquatic life in there. I don't know how you would connect the two with Atlantis, but I could figure that out.
Gotta do a
easily.
swimsuit line.
Oh, yeah, and a
So that's how you
swimsuit line.
connect.
Oh my god,
And
look at that.
honestly, a whole swimsuit calendar.
Oh,
You as a star, I think, would be a huge hit.
Well, Fish.
nothing but me and thongs, baby.
Fish, they have those backpacks for cats and dogs. Why isn't there a backpack that has like an aquarium built into it, Like a little fish?
Maybe because it's heavy as hell to carry. You know how much water weighs?
Yeah, but like yeah. You could get like a little gallon for like a little goldfish in there. Try to
Well, yeah,
you
like
could do
one of
that.
those, like the traditional goldfish style, like little aquarium thing it has. That could work, maybe.
There you
Gotta
go.
make sure you
Or
don't
like a
fall
single
and
beta
break
fish.
it.
I feel like that's something that you see like rappers wearing. The same dudes that are putting diamonds straight into their forehead definitely be rocking an aquarium backpack.
Yeah, didn't some guy have shoes with a live fish in the heels? Like it.
That's what I would believe it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody had that.
Well, if you could put it in shoes, you could put it in a backpack.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, shoes are a little easier, but when I'm thinking of a backpack carrier aquarium, like I'm thinking of like a 20-gallon tank on your back, and you're right
20
there.
gallons?
You're carrying like 100 pounds.
20 gallons is more than 100 pounds. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah, well there you go. If you're in the U.S. Army, that's nothing to you, but the everyday person, they're gonna blow their back out quite literally.
I don't know, Fish. I'd buy it. I'm in.
I like the ideas. We'll put a pin in it. What about you, Carl? What's your idea?
So my clothing brand will consist of only hats and socks because those are the two things that I own the most of. And I don't know, man. I don't know like what particular design these things would be rocking, but it'd just be just a clothing line of shoes and hats. Maybe, sorry, not shoes, socks. But maybe, socks that have hats on them and hats that have socks on them. We're gonna
I'm
get
thinking outside the box.
I'm picturing this as like the new wave lingerie, right? Like you only wear hat and socks, and it's like a suggestive clothing line.
I mean, that's what I do most of the time when I'm not streaming. I just have a hat and socks on.
Yeah, the nudist community would love that idea, Carl.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
that's where you need to be targeting, man.
Walker and Jess aren't too fond of it, but yeah, you gotta do you.
They'll get exactly, dude. Don't
To
let
each
other
their
people try to make you conform to their idea of normal. Go out there and you wear just your socks and hat, and they'll get over it. People will adjust if the socks and hat look cool enough.
And usually
push the boundary, Carl.
Usually I'm wearing two hats when I do that as well. You can figure out where the other hat goes.
God, dude. Yeah, you do not need a full hat, let's be real. You've got like one of those small little baseball cap things that they give away at the baseball games, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Nacho Bowl baseball hat.
Yeah.
I'll get in contact with my my private designer. We'll have some schematics written up by next week.
All right, look forward to it, man. We'll have to, we'll have to air it on the podcast.
Yeah, all come dressed in our clothing lines.
Yeah, guys, my cam's off this week because I don't want to be on Twitch or banned on Twitch.
It would have been perfect timing for Halloween. If it goes south, we could just say their costumes.
Oh, I got the costume that I have to wear for the podcast since I lost. I have it.
Do we want to tell everybody what it is, or should we keep it a surprise?
Let's build up the suspense,
Yeah.
Let people put their guesses in.
But into gaming, guys.
You're gonna look like an idiot.
Yeah. I wish I really didn't bring that up. I should just get right into the gaming news, but it's on me. You live and you learn.
Yeah, you'll bounce back. Don't worry about it. Yeah, let's get into it. Get this bitch started.
All right. So a game that I know Fish and I both really had a great time playing has now reached a new player high since the game's launched. They have reached 25 million players in total, and that game is Sea of Thieves.
Ooh, baby.
We've had a ton of great memories on the seas simulating as pirates. But the question kind of going off of the Sea of Thieves achievement here is if we were actual pirates, and I feel like if you're an actual pirate, you have to be missing a limb or a body part. It has to be replaced with something jank as hell. So if you were missing a limb or a body part, what would you choose to be missing, and what would you replace with it? I went to Frindt first last time, so let's go to Fish first this time.
Oh, God. What body part would I have to replace? Well, Wait, do toes count? Toes are a body part, right?
Kind of a cop out, but I guess it.
Yeah,
No, no, no. It's not a cop out.
take the whole foot.
So
It's a fair compromise.
like a tiger shark bit my foot off, and since I'm such a notorious pirate around the world, and I got all the gold that I could ever possibly want, I replaced my foot with a nice little golden replica foot. You know, I don't want to do like the peg leg thing. I feel like that would get annoying. I'd step in so many holes and just break my knee at that point.
Yeah, but a gold.
I'm gonna get like
foot.
a solid gold foot and put that where I lost my foot.
I would imagine
if anyone pisses me off, just kick them right then and there.
I'd imagine a gold foot would be pretty heavy, though, buddy. Would
you definitely, dude. Could you imagine my calves and my quads, though? Oh my god, I'd be the strongest foot pirate in the world.
Strongest foot pirate. There you go.
They'd definitely give you a pretty cool name with that. Like, you know,
like Captain Goldenfoot.
Well, they got Goldfinger. He's Goldfoot.
Yeah, baby. We're distant cousins. Dude, but Sea of Thieves is such a good game. I absolutely love that. I didn't do the traditional route with it. I kind of just grinded Skull Forts with you and Jim. And I reached, Pirate Legend within like a week or two that we played it.
We were grinding, man.
We grinded hard in that game. But it was so fun. We had so many good clips from it, too.
What was that, Frindt?
That's why they call you Captain?
Yeah, that's where the Captain originated. Initially, my Twitch name was just Smalls2496, which is my Xbox username. But I wanted to get rid of the numbers and didn't know what to kind of use as a prefix. And everybody started calling me Captain when we were playing. Yeah, man. And that's another one of those games. We talked about this a little bit last week about a game that will give you like a unique experience every time you play it. Keep it interesting. Sea of Thieves is one of those games, man. It's just like constant like wild shit happening, and even when it's not, like you're sailing to an island or something, drinking with your buddies. Like there's multiple times where like if we're playing with Walker or something, you get his character hammered and just start puking on people.
You could do that?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, then when someone get too drunk on the boat, we lock them in the brig.
This just sounds like a regular night.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that game was great fun. It's just such a fun, casual game to play with your friends. And there could be, like, super sweaty moments since there's PvP involved with it, too. Like, you can shoot at other players from other ships, too. And, like, take their loot and whatnot. And that's where the real fun comes into play.
I wanted to get into. One of these nights, you guys gotta help me. Show me the ropes.
Yeah, it's great. And they came out with the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion too, so they got like Captain Jack Sparrow and all those characters in the game now as well.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I want to try that because I've started up. I've never really got into it just because like by the time I was playing it, nobody else was. And I was like, I'm not going to try to do this by myself. But
yeah, that's definitely a game you have to play with your friends. It's the solo experience isn't too great, if I'm being honest.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, because like all you're doing solo is just sailing island to island, digging up a chest, and then you know going back to the outpost and turning it in. Like that's no fun. But most of the fun is just bullshitting with your friends.
The thing is, though, like I'm not much of a gamer. You know, I'm not great at a lot of games, but I feel like one where you just get hammered on a boat, I feel like I could do that.
Oh yeah,
that's something I could get good at.
Yeah, even Matt liked that game too. Like, and he's not much of a gamer, but he absolutely loved it as well.
Yeah, we got to get on that. Smalls, to answer your question though, I disagree with Fish. I would go full on peg leg, and honestly, the fact that I would never have to do leg day again makes that completely worth it. I was actually kind of considering going forward with an operation for that anyway.
Are you doing double peg leg?
Might as well, right? Well, no. Honestly, that would be a pain in the ass. I think I'd probably go right leg.
And then what's your peg made out of? Are you got the traditional peg or you got like some kind of crazy peg?
Ooh, I guess I was thinking traditional, just like wooden, but it'd be cool to do something different, I guess.
Find some obsidian or something, make it out of rock.
Yeah. I was thinking like a nice granite.
You know, if you're doing one
Nice
peg
granite
leg, might
combo.
as well just make all the limbs peg legs.
Vibranium?
Vibranium.
Damn. Now I'm
The
a
newest
superhero.
Marvel character.
Yeah, peg leg. Ooh.
He's Captain America, but he uses a peg leg instead.
Yeah, pretty
He
much.
just steps on people's toes all the time.
It's like, ding.
You'll be walking with a limp for a month now.
From that movement. Yeah.
When I think of somebody with a peg leg, I think of that character from Family Guy. What was his name? Seamus? Seamus the
Yeah,
pirate?
that had all four.
Yeah, he had arms and legs as peg legs. That guy was so funny.
Yeah, but then you couldn't do arms either. I just
No.
want to skip squat day.
Fair enough, bro.
What about you, Carl?
Smalls? What are you picking?
Oh shit, bro! I've been going back and forth in my head the whole time you guys been talking. I'm trying to figure it out.
Options here. We'll help you choose.
All right. I'm gonna just I think I'm gonna just pluck an eye out, but then I'm gonna like do some like wacky shit where I can like have a telescope eye,
Yeah.
like built in. Maybe that's a little bit too sci-fi for the pirate scene, but like,
If I have vibranium, you can have a telescope eye.
yeah. So like, I just want to like close my one eye and then I'll start like cranking a wheel in my ear and the telescope will come out.
How would that even work?
It's not an automatic one. It's manual.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you gotta keep it somewhat realistic.
Sure, yeah.
Somewhat realistic. Oh yeah.
So I got
telescope in the eyeball is somewhat realistic.
it's a crankshaft telescope. And the telescope will like therefore like expand out of my eye. So like I'll be the guy. I'll be the guy like with a bottle of rum at the crow's nest. And then I'll see something off in the distance. I'll crank my ear. So I got my telescope.
And who?
75 northeast. We got enemies.
Just be aware, I would fuck with you so bad. I would come up behind you at least once a day and just start cranking your ear to whip out that telescope.
I just bop you in the telescope eye and give you an instant headache.
Well, that's fucked.
What was the other option?
I don't know. I was like thinking about replacing my teeth with something or like
That wouldn't be bad. Just like some grills.
yeah, or like diamond nipples or something. I don't know. There's a lot of options.
Yeah.
You have cone nipples.
Diamond nipples.
Dude,
interesting choice.
That episode of Rick and Morty where they all have different nipples and they're like fighting each other about it.
Yeah. That was so
I haven't
funny.
seen it.
Cone nipples, get him!
It was cone nipples, and then what was the other ones? They were like circle ones or whatever.
I can't remember, but like it's basically like a play on like how like racists are dumb because like it's just like
race wars.
Yeah, race wars, but these guys are like got all different shapes of nipples.
Cone nipples, and then like the other ones are
that
just
fight with
circular.
your diamond nipples. That's what it is. It's a political movement, really. You're a revolutionary by getting diamond nipples.
So
It would be a bit awkward though, because everyone would think that you're just cold all the time.
All the time.
So if I was to have this telescope eye, I'm glad that I'm an Xbox guy because it would predict that playing virtual reality with a telescope eye would be pretty tough. And Xbox has announced that they have no plans for future investment in VR games, even though PS is kind of like just going with it. So as far as virtual reality goes, guys, have you had a chance to try it? If so, what games would you like to see to come to VR? And are you salty that Xbox isn't investing in virtual reality or not? What do you think, Frindt?
Yes to all the above. So I have tried it. My old roommate was the worst, but he was super rich, so he bought us cool shit, and he had this VR set that he got for our living room with like a big projector and everything, and it was pretty cool. I mean, the games definitely aren't there yet. Like, I feel like you haven't seen it really take off because a lot of the games had no plot. Like, there was like, for example, there's a racing one, right? And and basically you can do races, but you're not playing against other people. You're just against the computer. They only had a couple different maps and courses. There wasn't really a goal to the game. The point of the games, and that was the case for a couple of them, were the point of the games were just to be VR, not to like play the game. So
Gotcha.
I feel like right now it's still kind of like ahead of where it can be. But it was a pretty cool experience. Like you sit down, you put these things on, and like you look around your car and you can see every detail and look behind you and in your rearview mirror and stuff. Like I think there's a lot of potential with it, which is why I would like to see Xbox get involved. But they just haven't hit it yet.
So I will say this, you're kind of discussing like how the technology is still in development, and Pickle brought up the point that he actually had an Oculus, which he wasn't like too fond of, but with the newest one, the Quest coming out, he said it would be something he's interested in playing. I've actually had a chance to play the Quest, and it's awesome. I played the Saber Beat, which was a ton of fun, but at the same time, a lot of those games make me motion sick, and I don't know if that's something that has to do with the game quality or if it's just like me personally, I just can't play them because I get motion sick. But
So
I
that's
played
actually,
I played like a sniper game where I was moving the joysticks with my hands, but then wherever I was looking is kind of like where I was looking was acting as the right stick, and then I was moving with my hands with the left stick, and it made me kind of sick. What were you gonna say though, Fish? You were about to say something.
Yeah, I was gonna say that motion sickness. That's actually a hardware thing that they can implement into it. I forget which brand does it. It could be the Google VR headset, whatever the hell that's called. But they actually can have like built-in like motion sickness trackers to like help with that for people. But I'm pretty sure most of the brands don't do that, and that's why like you and a lot of other people's like, experience that motion sickness type of thing.
I
But
think you're right though too, Smalls. It's got a long way to go. So I think the graphics could be some of it. I think if it looked more realistic, you'd feel that less.
for sure. I think I'm honestly fine with Xbox not doing VR, only because like it just takes resources away from what they have as their current studios. You know, like you don't need to backtrack and like appease a very niche VR community. You know, because like there's just not a lot of people who want to buy VR headsets and experience it, right? But that with VR games, I do agree with you guys in saying that like they do have like a lot of time to like be up to date with modern games and whatnot. But they actually had a decent amount of VR games that were pretty damn spot on. And the one that I can recall most recently was the Half-Life Alyx.
I knew you were
VR
going there.
game.
I knew you were going there. For like five minutes out, I was like, I'm waiting on it.
Dude, as soon as I saw the topic, that was what instantly came to mind. But no, that game was actually hella good for VR. Like that, from the start to finish, they had that game with VR in mind, and it would. I watched people play it on Twitch and everything, and that game looked absolutely phenomenal. It was just so perfect to watch for VR. Like you could literally interact with like everything, like on a desktop, like. You can like pick up the dead bodies of like the people and like the head crabs you killed. And you can like pick up a dead head crab and put it on your head if you wanted to, and just have fun with it. But it was like super cool.
You don't think that's where games are going in the future?
No, that's where games should be going in the future, because Half-Life Alyx is like a perfect example of what VRs could be and should be. Because the graphics were good. All the motion sensors for that game were 100% spot on, and like it being Half-Life, it just had a really good storyline and like world building all around it. So like yeah, it was just all around. That's like a prime example of how VR can be.
So is this gonna be one of those things like when I have kids and they start playing video games? I'm like 40 or something. And I'm just like, fuck your VR headset. I want to play on a TV, and they're gonna be like, oh, Dad, you're so old. Is that where this is going? Is that what's going to happen?
I think so.
Oh, 100%.
So here's my thing. I think it is, or at least it could, and that's why I want to see Xbox get involved, because I think that could be the future. At least like augmented reality, or if you're not doing full on virtual reality. But I think definitely that could be where it goes, which is why I'd like to see kind of an arms race between Xbox and PlayStation with bigger studios, more development time and hours put into it, more effort put towards developing that. Because I feel like right now, if there's no competition from Xbox to PlayStation, PlayStation doesn't have to put as much effort into it, and it kind of stalls it out. Whereas if that was the goal of both of them to become like the VR leader in the next 3 to 5 years, you would see a lot bigger titles and names being dropped around.
Right. Yeah, it's great that you mentioned that. I'm gonna go a little bit off topic, but Facebook said that they are putting all their full resources into what they call the Metaverse. And long story short, if you want to know what that is, watch the movie Ready Player One, because that's what they're trying to build right now. So that's actually perfect, because it looks like they're going to go in that direction where everyone wears these VR headsets, and even like full on with like bodysuits where you can like it's like basically virtual sensing of your body and whatnot with the bodysuit. And I feel like the future is going to be like that, where you just like you put on a headset and you just go into the metaverse, and you could go to any world that you want, play any game, and like all these companies will have a stake in them and whatnot. So like there'll be like a Sony world and an Xbox world and a Red Robin's world and all that fun stuff.
So I actually disagree with both of you.
Wow.
That doesn't bother me. That just reassures me that I'm right.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
So one of the things Xbox was working on for a while, and Pickle had brought it up while I was like the wheels are turning in my head, that I think it's going to be more towards motion tracking and an immersive environment that you don't have to be wearing a headset. So one of the things that Xbox was experimenting on back when they were still working on Kinect was the projection of the environment without the entire with like throughout the entire living room. So that kind of like removes the need for virtual reality in a way. If you're able to immerse this person like in their living room, like light up the whole living room with the game, I think it kind of defeats the need for virtual reality. So I could see, motion detection and just like creating the living room into, I don't know, whatever game, I could see that over having to wear a headset.
See, that's like a little harder to do though, right? Because what's more difficult to do? Having an entire room with like sensors and projection lights to like make you fully immersed, or just put on the headset where all your, like eyes can just see everything in the headset. You know what I'm saying?
It's harder to do right now, but if we're talking like in the future, like tense, right? I don't see why it couldn't be doable in the future. I mean, how far down the line do you think VR is going to become prominent then? If we're talking like more narrow or nearsighted, like when do you expect these VR games to get to that level where they're popular?
Very soon. Sooner than we think, I would think, right?
I think at least 5 years. So, Smalls, I agree with you. I mean, I think that would be the end game. I don't think you're always going to see people having these big blocky goggles on to play video games. But I do think that, like, that's why I mentioned augmented reality earlier. Like, I think that there could be some sort of middle ground where you don't need to feel like you're fully immersed, but there's still the involvement of your environment around you. And I think that's where games are going. But I do think it's pretty far out, because even like, I mean, we're getting announcements now for games coming out in 2024. So it's got to be at least 5 years before they start even working on that stuff. So it could be 10 years before we see any sort of real advancements there.
Right.
But that being said, that's why I'd like to see Xbox getting on it now. I would rather see them be first mover instead of trying to play catch up or not putting any sort of pressure on PlayStation and the other ones doing it now.
The other thing though is that the market has to be there. This has to be affordable for like, you know, the common person for it to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's why I think the VR goggles are better, right? Just because of a setup standpoint, right? You know, what's easier to set up, plugging in a VR headset, or setting up an entire room with what you said, with like lights and motion sensors and
what if
you know,
it's
like
what if it's
projection.
one motion sensor like the Kinect that you have in at the front of the TV or whatever, and then you have a bulb that you place at the top of your ceiling, and then that's it.
I mean,
Yeah, just like a
ideally
projector.
that sounds great, but you know, not every room is built the same. You know.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
if Xbox was doing
Miles,
this
do you
like
think?
Xbox was doing this like years ago already. Like I don't think that the technology's that far off realistically. It's about making it affordable. So I think 10 years from now that's what we're looking at. I think 5 is too soon. I think 10 is more of a realistic expectation.
Yeah,
But I
yeah,
mean,
I would agree with
who
So,
that.
really
Smalls,
knows?
do you think we're kind of skipping the trend of VR and the headsets and everything? That'll stay small, but then 10 years from now, gaming will still look completely different.
Yeah, I think VR is a transition to something better, and I think the augmented
Yeah.
reality would be something better.
Right, right.
No, I think I agree with that. I mean, I don't think VR will really take off that much because I feel like VR technology is already there, and if it was going to take off, it would have happened.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. The big
Well,
companies are probably just holding off until like it's like the next big craze, you know, because when VR first came out, everyone wanted it, and then they found
yeah,
out that all the stuff you can do on it was pretty garbage, and now like all these big companies, they most likely already have the technology in place. They're just holding on to it until like it's actually feasible in the market, you know.
Side note,
but what I'm
how
wondering though,
oh sorry, go ahead, Frindt.
that
Go ahead.
well, I'm just wondering. So if they've got the technology already, why don't they make better games? Why is every game like repetitive, zero plot, no big names? Like, why don't they do a Halo shooter with a campaign mode and use that to draw people to the new platform?
Because
You know,
the
I
market's
don't
not there.
understand.
Well, the market, and it's just way harder to make, you know. I would feel like the technology or like the IP that they have to work with would be way different than just like a standard game, you know. So like, and most developers, they're usually trained into only like knowing one type of platform. So if you want to make a VR game, you're gonna have to find VR developers, and those are hard to come by. You know, like there's only so many of them out there.
Well, so when I
Do
was
you
kind
think
of
that that's what they might be working on now, but they don't have the team and the technology to do it?
no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
they could be.
I don't think so. Um, when I was kind of like looking up this topic and kind of finding things for us to discuss, I actually found a quote I found very interesting from an MPD analyst that said, "Perhaps someday the market will be there and it can develop, but it's been years, and the overwhelming majority of games consumers just don't care about it." And I don't think that's
Mm,
gonna change, man. I really don't.
yeah,
Until I think it's a transition period. But
I don't think that's true. I would disagree with that quote. I think they could build a market if they had better games.
yeah. I agree.
You
I
know,
agree with
like
Frindt on
Henry
that one.
Ford said that if he asked the market what they wanted, they would have said a faster horse. But obviously, a
I
car is
like that
fucking better.
quote.
So like, dude, that's what I think. I think if you came out with some awesome games with some big titles, maybe sequels of current games, big developers released it through Xbox or PlayStation and did it, put your efforts there, I think you could build a market.
yeah, but
Yeah,
again,
it
it's buying the equipment. You're not gonna get people to buy the equipment.
that is true. There's a lot of factors in place for this too. It would
And
have to be a big name company with a well known franchise and like a dedicated multi year support system for VR for it to like actual traction.
you know, the other thing is too is like if you kind of come up with some gimmick where like, all right, we're gonna give you a VR headset with your console. Look how bad that turned out.
Yeah,
Look how bad that turned out for Xbox. Is my point.
Oh yeah.
They forced people to get a Connect, which a lot of people didn't want. I loved the
I
Connect.
hated it.
I loved it. I loved it. I was happy that it came with my Xbox, but 90% of my friends that had an Xbox One were trying to sell their Kinects, right? So if you force people to have a VR with their console, that's not going to work, and it's not working right now for people to just go buy a VR separately. So like I said, I just don't believe in it. But how are the size of VR games? Like, are they as big as like console games, like gigabytes wise?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I have no idea.
They're probably a lot bigger, right? Because they're more interactive, which may be why you can't put a full campaign mode in that.
Maybe. It's crazy with the Xbox Series X, man. I keep finding myself having to delete games because the gigabytes on these games are becoming so big. So like, is this a developer problem? Is this a hardware problem? Like, how would you guys tackle this as a consumer? Like, what would you like to see? Like, do you want games to be like kind of reduced more? Like, find them a way to pack them into less gigabytes, or what are we doing here, guys?
Well, I think it's a lot of things. Like, it's what you said. It's a storage issue because storages they don't want to give you actual big storages because like we're all consumerisms, right? So they want you to spend extra money on all those external hard drives and whatnot, right? And it's also on the developer side where you can just code a game badly. A perfect example, my favorite game to shit on is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019. That game is so poorly coded that it takes up like 187 gigs on your hard drive or something ridiculous. I have no idea, but like, yeah, it like literally takes up your whole hard drive because the game is just so poorly coded. But if you have a team that knows what the hell they're doing, you can actually make a really good AAA game with like a really small gigabyte size. So it's all on the studio that makes the game on whether or not they want to make the game as optimized as possible. Yeah,
I think we're kind of in a transition period here where storage is going to SSD, which is good. It allows you to do the quick resume and different things like that with games. But that's SSD storage is just too expensive right now. So I think it's not on the game developers. They need to keep making quality games, and if that means, higher gigabyte games, so be it. But they also need to be efficient with their storage, like you're saying, Fish. Call of Duty obviously does a terrible job of that. But I think it's more on Xbox, PlayStation to make storage more readily available, because it's a pain in the ass to have to delete games, re-download games, left and right.
Yeah, I've been doing that a whole bunch on my Xbox the past few months. I have a 2 terabyte external, and I've reached the max on it now. I just can't keep games anymore. Like I have like 70, 75 games total on my Xbox as a whole, and you just can't hold anymore. Like unless I want to buy an even bigger external hard drive, which I don't want to do. But one thing, even though I just shit on Call of Duty, they did do one thing correctly. I think one way you can tackle this problem right now instead of the future is let the consumer decide what they want to download and what they don't. So Call of Duty does a good job of that because like they have like 1,000 different packs that you can download for the game, like multiplayer packs, Spec Ops packs,
campaign.
Campaign packs and everything. Same thing
with your favorite game, Fish. Like the Destiny, if you look on the Game Pass, it's got 4 different downloads that you can do. I think that's a great answer to it. But then at the same time, if you're playing it, it blocks off your ability to jump between the different versions and different areas, right? So it's definitely not the end game, but I think it's a great immediate fix.
Exactly, yeah. That's why I said it's a good band-aid, to say the sorts, to like do now. Like just pick what the player wants to download now, and if they want to download something different, they can if they wanted to. But just keep what they have and like leave the others away.
Tink does bring up a good point though with as far as the Modern Warfare argument. They are kind of combining a multitude of games into one almost with Warzone, multiplayer and whatnot. But that being said, you have other games that have battle royales within them that are not that big still. You know what I mean? Like look at Battlefield. You know, they had Firestorm within the game, campaign and multiplayer. It was not even close to that storage, as I recall.
Right.
So
yeah, that just
it's
goes
a little
back
bit
to
of both.
what I said with the coding thing. Like, how is Warzone 89 gigs on its own, but Apex is only, what, like, under 50? It's like 40, 45 gigs. And Apex has 3 maps, like just a lot of guns and characters and just a whole bunch into it. And Warzone just has the 1 map plus whatever. What's the prison island called? I forget.
I don't know, dude.
Rebirth
Rebirth Island.
Oh yeah,
Rebirth Island. Oh, okay. Apex is 75 gig. Yeah, so like it's a little smaller than Warzone, but it's got 3 times the content. So like that just goes back to a coding issue with the studios.
Well, guys, you want to get
do you think they're gonna fix that? And I mean, is that something that they're putting their efforts towards right now? Because last week we talked about all the remasters, and then we know we've got a lot of games in process right now that are 3 years from being released. Do you think that lowering the amount of space that they use is something that they're working on, or they just kind of
it doesn't make them money.
They gotta make storage. They gotta make storage better.
Yeah.
But
the studios don't let the developers optimize their games because they just want to make more money for the game. So them putting their efforts toward reducing the file size doesn't help their company at all. Unless you're Bungie, which is privately owned, and they, yeah, my favorite company. I'm gonna give them a gold star again. They actually spent the time and effort reducing the file size of the game, and they optimized it pretty well, which did reduce it by a decent chunk, aside from the part that they got rid of half of the game.
Frindt, I do have a question for you. Do you have your truth or drink cards?
I don't, but I'm resourceful, so I pulled up some additional questions here.
All right, you want to knock a few out before we hop into the sports?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Give me a number between 1 and I think it's 150. Yeah.
49.
All right.
Great number.
What is the shortest amount of time you've known someone before hooking up?
I don't know. I actually I have no idea. Maybe like a month. I don't know.
A month?
I don't know.
Ever done a one-night stand?
Nope.
Good for you, man.
No one night stands here. I mean, as you guys know, I've been dating Haley forever, so
I was a committed man.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is just like, I mean, I'll tell you a story. There was this chick in my Spanish class in high school that I had known for like a little bit of, and I don't know, she was just like flirting with me and shit. I was like, how about some head tomorrow? And she was like, well, I got softball after school today, but I can hook you up tomorrow. So I was like, all right. So I was late to track practice, but got some head, so that was dope.
Chat is definitely, anybody watching this live right now is watching the gears turn in my head trying to piece this together. Like, Spanish class
of who
played
it
softball.
was.
Yeah.
Dude, I was late to track practice too, so I had to like run an extra mile.
You know what? I remember Evans telling me that.
I had a shit grin on my face that entire mile. That was the best. That was the best mile I've ever run.
It was so worth it.
An extra mile isn't even that bad.
Nah, bro, it wasn't. It really wasn't. I was like, so all right, I got run an extra mile, but I got some head. All right, we cool.
So was that the only time you hooked up with her?
Yeah.
How many times would you repeat that if the situation presented itself? It was like you get to do the same thing, but each time you have to run a mile. How many times would you repeat your actions?
Probably 7 days a week.
Wow.
Like you said, bro, it's just a mile. I was running track. I was in good shape.
But if you had to do the miles consecutively, it like added up at the end of the weeks. So you had to do a 7-mile run instead. Does that change anything?
I do 4 out of 7.
Yeah. So no regrets is what we're saying.
Hey,
No regrets.
Regrets at all.
hey, head is head, right?
Right. Well put. I forget who said that. I think it was Ben Franklin, but it's a great quote.
Yeah,
I do remember reading that in the history books.
Yeah,
right.
Social studies 5th grade.
Sister Nancy's class, yeah. Fish, you rest in peace. Fish, give me a number.
25.
I don't know what that is. LARP? Let's skip that one. Give me a different number.
I know what LARPing is.
Yeah, I know what LARPing is too.
Have you ever wanted to try LARP? That's kind of a boring question anyway.
I give it a go.
LARP like the thing in Role Models where they're dressing up as
Yeah.
It's literally live action role playing.
There it is.
Yeah,
that's what it
sense.
means. Hell yeah, I do LARPing, bro. I actually we did an impromptu LARPing. It was back in high school, and we were smoking the devil's lettuce down by the Rookery, if you remember where that is. And
Dude, that's down by the Rookery. That's amazing.
Down by the Rookery.
Down by the Rookery.
Yeah, with your banjos.
Yeah, but we were doing the devil's lettuce at that time, and we all decided to do some LARPing in the woods, and I almost impaled my friend with a long stick from like 20 yards out. I felt pretty badass doing it at the time. But,
what was your character when you did that?
Oh, I was a spearman. I had like a 6-foot stick, straight as an arrow, and my friend was running away from me because I was just whacking the shit out of him. And he was like a good 20, 25 yards away from me. He wasn't running in a straight line. He was running like right to left. And I perfectly threw that spear just like inches right in front of him. Like I could have hit his head if I was a little more accurate. I didn't want to kill him, but yeah, LARPing's hella fun. So I would 100% do it.
But you're damn good at it.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm a killer out there on the battlefield.
I actually I almost like went to this event weekend, but COVID happened. So it's basically like all these people gather in like out in the wilderness somewhere, and they have people that are selling different goods and stuff, and you use bottle caps. It's like basically like Fallout, and you like LARP for like a weekend in Fallout.
Oh, that's so dope! Actually,
yeah,
what the hell?
Amy was telling me about it.
Oh my god, yeah. I totally would do that.
Yeah, so,
it sounds stupid, but it's actually really fun.
I'll give it a go.
Dude, after watching Role Models, I was like, how do I sign up for that?
It's such a great movie.
The guy that you almost speared down, what was his character?
I want to be like a wizard too.
What's that?
He's playing as the character Frindt.
No wonder you didn't hit him, dude.
Frindt would just be a vendor, He would just like sell you like swords and shields or some shit.
Yeah, just be like the background character.
He's a side character.
You guys ever think about that? Like in these crazy ass movies and games, like you've got a game like Skyrim, but like there's dragons blowing up towns and you've got all this mystic shit going on. But there are some people that just like work a 9 to 5, go home and watch The Office. Like they're just like these normal ass people that just like do their own things and like.
It's no different than today, You got people working regular ass jobs, and then they see on the news like, "Oh, terrorist attacks just blew up an embassy across the ocean." And you're just like, "Oh, that just happened."
Cabs in those worlds, Yeah.
But
somebody is out there like, here's what I can do for you on your excavator cabin. It's crazy to think.
All right, friend,
I would
what
just
card
be
you
a
pulling,
blacksmith.
Give me a number instead of me picking, because
71. No, actually 74. That was Fish's football number. 74.
Oh, you remember? Nice.
I even remember everybody's football numbers.
Yeah, yours 24.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of blanking on Brian's.
44.
I'm 80.
44, that's right. I knew it was a 4. I didn't want to say 24 again. Tom was 75.
So my question's pretty easy. Do I secretly want the password for Bay's phone? No. Honestly, I've never once looked at Abby's phone.
I haven't either, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna check Haley's Safari history just to see like if she's into some freaky shit that like.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
She into that real freaky stuff. She's prepping you.
Yeah, what kind of porn has this bitch been watching?
She's looking up strap-on stuff.
Dude, it's probably all just our podcast. That's all she's looking up.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's never really like I've never really cared to check, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm like the same way. I
trust her.
Yeah, I feel that. But guys, so honestly, one of the games I would love to see like in VR would be like a racing game. Like I think you were mentioning how like could see the inside of the car. Dude, like seeing that like in F1 would be sick. And then speaking of the F1, it's a tight competition right now. Usually like they have at this point in the season somebody's kind of blowing them out of the water, but there's like a 3 or 4 like way fight for the lead in the F1 series right now. I know Red Bull is actually one of the teams that's in contention right now.
Yeah.
But in the future, they're actually planning a Miami Grand Prix, and that will be focused around the Dolphins Stadium, which is pretty unconventional, and will actually be a street race, which is something that's not always prominent in F1. I was talking to Dubois about this because he's a big F1 guy. So the United States usually has 2 or 3 races a year, and this is kind of going to be the staple for next year, is this race around the Miami's Dolphins Stadium. So kind of going off this, guys, I don't think any of us are huge F1 guys, but we have definitely played the arcade machines where you're racing on the Great Wall of China, or you know, different shit like that. So if you had a fancy race location where you'd like to race, where would you go?
Well, okay. Two things before we get this off.
Yeah.
You said Grand Prix. Which
same exact thing.
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
We got to address that elephant in the room. It's called Grand Prix, Carl. Come on,
I just kept talking because I was hoping you were gonna forget it. I've had a lot of kind of like hiccups on my words tonight. I don't know what's going on.
I'll bring that up for the next 10 episodes.
Never letting that one go.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But Fish, go ahead. And if you were to pick a Grand Prix location, would you
yeah. I would say most Grand Prix, they actually are in cities and whatnot, right? Because you got like the Santa Monica race, and they actually close off most of the city for that race and everything, and that's a pretty huge event. Like that's like one of the main events for Formula One and everything. But I would say not like really a fantasy location, but one that I would find interesting, and it would probably be easy to set up too, would be the Salt Lake Flats. You know what I'm talking about? That's in Nevada, right? Where it's just like a huge dried up lake, and it's just all salted flatlands.
I got no idea, bro.
Do you know what I'm talking about, though?
No fucking idea.
They test cars out there and everything.
Fish, you're asking somebody who just said Grand Prix. So
yeah, true. Yeah. Can't expect much there.
I would just stay quiet. You guys just keep shitting on me.
Bro, that's how we should do more of these episodes, honestly.
I'm totally down for that.
Stay quiet and we'll shit on you. I have fun doing that.
Yeah, I mean, we carry the show anyway, so it would be an easy transition. But I would find it like an interesting location because like you're on a salt flatbed lake and everything. So I think it would be interesting to see how like the Formula One cars would do in that, and you could basically set up the track however you would want, right? Because it's all just a flatland and everything. So you just set up the barriers however you want, and just make it as interesting as it can be. See how the Formula One tires race on salt.
I like it.
Fair enough. How about you? Oh yeah, all right, I'll go. So I don't know if this would definitely not work for F1, But just like a race in general, I think it'd be dope if you had some kind of race that like started at the peak of a volcano in Hawaii and you had to race down the volcano into the like Honolulu or something. That would be fucking dope. So that would be
Ooh.
like kind of like my fantasy one, that like the first one that popped in my head. If we're even getting like more into fantasy, take me to N64 Rainbow Road and I'll fuck you up.
Damn.
That would be so
They
sick.
built that track somehow.
Yeah, dude.
And a lot of people would die on that track.
Why hasn't
Why
Nintendo opened up like a Mario Kart themed like park where it's just go karts and it's got like tracks like from the game? Dude, take my money. Take it all.
They have Mario World. They definitely have that. I'm pretty sure that's in Japan, right? They have like a full on. Yeah, they have a full on Mario World amusement park.
Yeah, but I want to.
They're adding a DK park like next year, and people were talking about it being like your typical like Donkey Kong game where you're riding in the barrel down tracks and you're breaking it and you have to jump.
That's sick, actually.
Yeah.
That'll be our vacation next year when Worlds Collide goes to Japan.
That'd be so dope.
We should do a Japan tour.
Yeah,
dude. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I think it's such a sick country.
We're going to Pokemon theme park then too, because they got one out there.
Oh yeah, we'll do it all.
I saw that. They're setting up like a legit like safari.
They got
Dude,
they got a Rayquaza roller coaster. They got the Rayquaza roller coaster.
Well, I think I might be talking about something completely different. It was like a park. It basically looks like a zoo, except it's like open more and it has Pokemon. It's not part of like a theme park. It just like they set up like basically what the safari looks like in the game, and you just like roll around and try to find Pokemon.
That's actually really cool. I'd be down to check that out.
Holy shit! I
know Japan also has like a giant Gundam statue. If you know what that is, it's like literally like 3-4 stories tall, and it's just like sitting in the middle of Japan.
Pack your bags, boys.
Yeah, so
Japan's got a lot.
So back to F1 racing. Frindt, where would your location be?
Dude, no brainer. Blacklick, Ohio. It would be so
oh my
sick.
God,
dude. And unlike Fish's scenario here, I wouldn't block off the street. So there you'd have to deal with Broad Street traffic. There's at least 2 accidents a day, not to mention potholes and shit. Could you imagine just like weaving in between the different? That would be your difficulty. Instead of having like curvy maps, you just have to avoid all the dumbass drivers in Blacklick. I think it'd be pretty exciting. I see at least 2 accidents a day, and I work from home. I don't leave my house, and I still manage.
You just see it outside your window.
Yeah.
Lord Almighty.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'd love to see multi-million-dollar F1 race cars just completely wipe out because of a pothole in the ground.
Yeah. Not to mention, Blacklick's due for some big profit sports. You know, we've always been huge for everything else, and it's kind of wild we don't have any sort of professional sports team. So I could see. I think mine's the most realistic.
We'll make it happen. We'll be in contact with F1 organizers.
Lordy.
I'll text Big Sean. See if he can make that set up for us.
Alrighty, guys. Well, with the NBA starting this week, we got any bold predictions?
Moving on. Yeah, Ben Simmons is getting traded.
Oh, that's real bold. Yeah, especially after him getting thrown out of practice and then suspended.
Did he really? No way.
Is that he's gonna go on a fuck you tour? I don't think he's that bad, dude.
I don't think he's gonna learn to shoot the three overnight, buddy.
I think so. Here's what happened, right? I mean, he was good in the regular season, and he had a shitty playoff run, and not one person on his team or his coach came to his side. And honestly, that's kind of some bullshit. Like, the coach should come up and say, like, even if he's not playing well, you say, this is a team effort. You know, we are going to fix some things. You don't just let the dude just sit out there and dry and die. And I think he's going to get traded, and then he's going to fucking go off. And I hope he goes to the Lakers and wins a ring.
Well,
That's,
see
that's my bold prediction.
the thing if he goes to the Lakers, he's not going to have to even create his own offense because he'll be coming off the bench because they have Russell Westbrook first off, and then LeBron creates the offense for everyone around him. So, but the thing is Ben Simmons can't shoot the three, so he won't even fit in with the Lakers. LeBron drives and kicks, which is what Ben Simmons needs to do. He needs to learn how to shoot a jumper, which he can't, which is why he's good in the regular season because nobody plays fucking defense.
Oh, that's fair. That's very fair. But I also feel like you can get in a slump and it doesn't help when nobody comes to your side.
Oh, I completely agree with that. Yeah. No, you're 100p right on that one. But I just don't think Ben Simmons is an actual good NBA player.
Yeah, might not be wrong. Time will tell. But either way, I'd like to see him get a ring this year with the Lakers.
So I didn't hear about the news with him. Why did he get thrown out of practice and then suspended? What did he do?
I think he had his phone in his pocket during practice and was looking at it. But there's already been like beef like prior to that. What was the reason he got thrown out?
Well, that could have been the final straw. I didn't even hear about that, so I'm not sure when that happened. But he refused to participate in one of the drills. It was like a defensive drill. And Doc Rivers was calling him in, and he was basically just like, "No, I'm not doing it."
So he's like a spoiled child.
Well, dude,
maybe I don't know what all transpired before that. But.
The Sixers want him gone. He wants to be gone. It's just gonna happen at some point now. But he's depleted his trade value entirely. It's kind of like what Kyrie did to us, like kind of boned us. Like Kyrie's like, "I want out," and then we were like, "Okay, well, I guess we'll give Boston like this," you know. So
he's not.
Kyrie's not playing anymore either. Fuck him too.
Yeah, he's a bum. Right. He can suck a dick.
He's still under contract, right? He's not in free agency.
Who? Kyrie?
Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah, no, I think he's still under contract. Yeah, they're just looking to get rid of him because they don't like him.
Right.
Oh, okay. All right then.
He'll bounce back, dude. Just watch. He's coming.
But all right, so
he's definitely gonna go on that.
But other than that, Smalls, I mean, honestly, I think it's going to be kind of a predictable season, which has been the problem with the NBA for the past few years.
Well, last year your predictions were all wrong and mine were right, so.
So it was predictable for one of us at least.
Yeah, but I mean, you had the Suns and the Bucks in the finals, and that wasn't very predictable at all. I would say. I thought last year actually brought some life to the playoffs. I thought the playoffs were very entertaining last year.
The playoffs, you're right. Yep, definitely. No, the playoffs, you're right. But the regular season always is just you can ignore it basically.
Hey man, that's
although I like the one game knockout that they've added though, and I think that added some spice too.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Along with like you know, the NBA starting, that WNBA just finished up. In the Chicago Sky, I believe it was their first title they won, right?
I have no idea, dude. I don't follow the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to watch. I did see that, I like looked up the score when I saw the finals were on, and I think it was Game 3, and one of the teams, I think it was Mercury, only had 50 points. They only scored 50 in the full game. And I was like, yeah, that would be why I don't follow it. I'm not going to watch the next game either.
Yeah, for me, the WNBA is just hard to watch, you know, like compared to the men's NBA, like I don't know, it could just be biased on this issue, but I just find it not entertaining to watch.
Everybody's trying, like all the celebrities and the NBA, like everybody's trying to get you into this, and it's just not a good sport. And before people that are listening to this like get salty that I'm talking about the WNBA like this, my sister is way more athletic than I am, and I've seen her play basketball, and the games are a lot better than the WNBA. I don't know what it is, but that is just like they make it look tough. And I don't know why, dude.
They
make it look like they've never touched a basketball, and I don't understand it.
Bro, I was about to say, like, I actually agree with you. I don't like watching the WNBA, but I loved watching the Women's March Madness. The Women's March Madness was awesome. But the WNBA, it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, In
Here's what I
college
think
scene
they
is just
need to
way
do.
more ecstatic than professional level, you know? Because like the fans are just way more passionate in college than they are
It could
when
be
it's
it
like a
too.
professional team.
More of just a following. But here's my proposition. So WNBA, if you're listening, lower your hoops to 9 feet. That's what I would do. No, but all right. So think about this though. The average WNBA player, a lot shorter. I actually looked it up, about 7 inches than the average NBA player, and a lower vertical. So if you lower the hoops by a foot, you've got more dunks, more scoring, and more competitive games. And you may be drafted players. Like I said, my sister's basketball team was fun to watch, but when you get to the WNBA, I don't know, maybe they're just drafting like the tallest players because you've got a 10-foot hoop. If everybody could make it on a 9-foot hoop, you might actually have some ballers. So I think the WNBA should just drop it by a foot and call it a day and watch things just completely spiral in the right direction.
Well,
Spiral into chaos, more like it.
Right, I think that's definitely a potential good way to increase the viewership. And as you predicted, yeah, Mama was like, y'all a bunch of woman haters.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's not women are not the problem. The league is the problem.
the He-Man woman haters.
Yeah.
Well, I know we like looked this up and everything, but like just the general viewer base for the WNBA is a fraction of what the NBA gets on a regular basis. I don't know which of you guys looked up the stats, but it says the WNBA averages only like 413,000 viewers compared to what the NBA gets, and they get over 1.5 million viewers. So that's just like a huge gap in between of like the viewership.
Yeah. I want to. Who's your favorite NBA team? You can list 5 players. I'll admit that I'm wrong.
What's the WNBA?
Yeah, can you, Smalls?
No.
I
I know.
Parker.
I have a Cleveland Rockers pennant though. When the Cleveland used to have a WNBA team, I actually have a Cleveland Rockers jersey and a Cleveland Rockers pennant.
Do we not anymore?
No, we don't.
Oh, okay. I watch the same amount of games now as I did before. I've seen just as many Cleveland Rockers games since there wasn't a Cleveland Rockers as I watched when there still was a team.
That's what they should have named the Indians, bro. The Cleveland Rockers. That's a better name than the Guardians.
That's a dope name. I like that a lot.
I'm still not against Guardians.
Guardians could throw in the crash.
It's growing on me slightly.
The Rockers actually had like a cool jersey, bro. I should see if I could find it. But like the logo was like a guitar, you know? Like I thought it was kind of dope.
Oh,
yeah, fits in
The
perfectly because the rock and roll whole
actually
thing.
do like that. Yeah.
All right, let's get a petition going.
And in that petition, in the fine print, include that we're lowering the baskets by a foot.
Is Britney Griner still in the WNBA?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like the only. She's literally the only player that I know out of that entire league.
I mean, what would you guys do to increase viewership?
Nothing that I can say on the podcast.
I can't think of any good suggestions. Yeah.
I don't know. More advertising, maybe.
50-cent beer night.
Yeah,
oh,
I was going to
say,
it
now
may just take time and gimmicks. Like, it might just take time to just kind of build some support around it. But I feel like the league is the problem. They need to change something up structurally because it's just not enjoyable to watch, even though they've got good athletes. And I don't know why that is.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's
yeah.
hard to watch. Maybe cut it down to my 15-game season like I suggested for the MLB.
15 games. Man, that's a throwback to 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, keep up.
Maybe make the games just like hyper fast, so like you see the players just running up and down the court more, and they just like have to score buckets.
Yo,
you know?
Yeah,
like
lower the
either
shot
make
clock?
like exactly.
I like that, Fish. 10-second shot clock. Write it down. This is all going in our petition.
Just hauling
yeah.
ass on every side of the
And
court
they
right there.
all have to wear light up shoes. When you run, they make different lights and sounds.
The lights go off halfway through the game.
Yeah.
Get some Skechers in there.
Dude, so just because like we've been talking about this, Mama was like, I don't know if I can even name 5 NBA players, and the 5 she listed, I just thought they were funny. Of one of the guys that's in here, she goes Steph Curry, Shaq, LeBron, Kobe, and the 5th Mike Bibby. I fucking I respect the fuck out of that. Mike Bibby.
Oh my god.
I loved Mike Bibby. Bibby. Little Sacramento Kings action. Mama's a
That's like
California
the most
gal,
random
so
assortment of players.
I know you got all these dudes that are like surefire like goats, and then Mike Bibby.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
That'd be a hell of a lineup, though.
Yeah,
Mike
it would
Bibby
be.
would carry that team to the playoffs for sure.
Mike Bibby was nice.
Yeah. All right, well, Smalls, you want to do one more truth or drink?
Yeah, man, let's
And
rip
go
a truth
watch
or
the
drink.
Brownies get a dub?
Yeah,
Woo, woo.
I got one thing to ask you, Frindt.
Yeah.
I guess it's not an ask. It's not really a
Are you
question.
going to ask, where is football?
Yeah, there you go. Where's football, buddy?
Because
Football's
football is here. Football is
Hell
in
yeah.
Louisville, Cleveland, and Florida this week. It's here, baby.
Yeah.
All right, Smalls.
All right, you need a number?
Yeah, give me your number.
4. That's, you know why 4? Because we're gonna get our 4th win today.
Ooh, I love it. I'm actually kind of worried, not gonna lie, because we have like 22 injured starters or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I like it, dude. I like the energy. We've got the Cleveland socks on. Boom. And the jersey, so we're ready to go.
I got the
I think we
jerseys,
get to
bone,
go.
hat, all that good stuff.
I'm looking
For
at
the
something
4th
orange,
win.
so I'm counting that.
Question number 4. Name something illegal that you've done and regret. Because I know there's probably a lot of illegal shit you don't regret.
Oh, I thought this was your question for a second, and I just realized it's mine.
That's yours.
I shot someone.
Something illegal I've done that I regret. That I regret is the tough part.
Dude, reps out here repping the Broncos.
Yeah, fuck the Broncos, rep. Get the fuck out of here.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Dude, I can't even think. I can think of plenty of like illegal things I've done, but I don't regret any.
Good for you, man. Drink.
Yeah, okay, I'll
Fish.
drink.
What's your number?
Oh god.
What was Mike Bibby's number?
Yeah.
10.
You, anyone know his number?
10.
I'll do that. 10?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure,
it's
but
okay.
that feels good. I'm gonna look it up.
Alright.
Mike Bibby.
All right, Fish. What's your dream date?
My dream date? Oh
Dream
my
first
god.
date.
It is
It's
10, by the way, guys.
actually
Sorry to interrupt. It was 10. I was right.
Wow, good for you.
Or you
My
just-
dream date. Oh my god. It would have to be like. It's going to be Disney World. Yeah, it's going to be Disney World. I want to go to all the exhibits. Wait, is it Disney World or Disneyland? Which has like the Harry Potter world and the Star Wars
Universal.
world?
Universal.
Universal?
Well,
Yeah, let's.
Star Wars is Disney, so you gotta choose one or the other, buddy.
Oh shit.
Disney also has Avatar. So here's
Avatar's
what
not
I'll tell
out
you.
yet, though.
Definitely the Disney one then, because I love Star Wars more than I do Harry Potter.
And then you're doing Disneyland or
Dude.
Disney World.
Or wherever are they in both or?
Disneyland is out in Cali, and that's got the Avengers, and then Disney World has Star Wars.
Disney World, 100%.
All
I
right.
want to do the whole 9 yards. Like I want to go to the bar. I want to like make lightsabers with my date and everything.
Cantina?
Go on all the rides.
Yeah.
If they have it, I'd love to buy like an Obi-Wan Kenobi robe. Like the brown robe that he wears, because that shit's tight.
So I
Toy.
love that, but I just saw that Universal right now. So both of them are doing like their Halloween horror time, and Universal has the Death Eaters at Harry Potter World. That'd be so
Ooh,
sick to see. They come out with like this green smoke and stuff.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want though. Like, what I would probably want to build a lightsaber more than getting a wand from like the Harry Potter world. But you know, it's like they're like neck and neck right now because they both kind of sound pretty sick.
Frindt,
So
what
I'm gonna have
question
to
you
go
got?
with Star Wars.
What's that?
What do you got for your question there, guy? I think you gotta go with number 10 for Mike Bibby.
That was number 10.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
give me
okay.
another one. Yeah.
Uh,
Rep's out here shitting on football. He says he calls it American handball, and the real football is played in Europe.
ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Come on. You're not even a real Broncos fan.
Oh, good. Yeah, you picking his number, Carl, or what?
Rep, what's my number?
Yeah, Rep, pick a number for Frindt to pull here.
Liverpool's not even nice. They can't even catch the ball. I haven't seen one single good catch in European football. So how can you say that it's any better than ours?
17. There you go.
Have I ever kissed anyone in this room? The only other person in this room is the lady in blue. So not yet.
Frindt, have you ever smooched me when you were drunk?
No. Dude.
Oh, I'm just making sure. I don't know.
They just don't want to admit it on the podcast. Let's be real, it happened. It totally happened.
Because I'm the only one in this room, but
except for the blue lady that's gonna gut you later.
These have not stopped moving. And
I know the lady in blue is gonna get your ass, bro.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because the fan is off. It is definitely not blowing. I'm going to die.
Your camera right now is a straight scene out of oh my god, what is the first? How am I blank? What was that?
The Shining? Bro,
no, the first like I can't believe I'm blanking on it right now. I'm actually getting pissed. The first like the horror film that everyone loved that was like really under budget.
Paranormal Activity.
Was, like,
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, Paranormal. Oh my god, I can't believe I couldn't remember that. Yeah, your apartment right now is like a scene straight out of that movie.
Yeah, so this is gonna be Frindt's last podcast.
This is not a hall from The Shining.
Oh my god, it is.
Is the Sealbach suite where Sealbach died? Dude, I'm dead.
Hey.
I appreciate all of our viewers, but we had a good run. But this will be my last one. Also, definitely just locked myself out of the room.
Oh,
so I'm gonna have to take this.
No
way, bro! I forgot that. So here's why I always do the.
Your wife has gonna cut
key.
out and.
Oh my god.
Well, no, because it's on the hotel's Wi-Fi. So I always do the digital key, but it stopped working, and I forgot I had to get another key.
Oh my god, that's so funny! Holy shit! Frindt's gonna see the Olsen twins down the hallway, and then he's gonna get murdered before he gets his key card back.
Oh my god!
Tell me I'm not gonna die in this elevator.
Honestly, the only way this podcast can get better is if he just cuts off right then and there, and we just end the podcast.
Oh, there he goes. He is cutting out an elevator. Fish, can you still hear me at least?
Are we all cutting out right now?
I'm still here.
Cut out there for a second.
I think Frindt's dead, but we're here.
Yeah, that definitely just happened.
Yeah, so at this point, guys, we got 25 minutes till the Browns start. I think this is a good cutting point.
Oh, 100%. That's the cherry on top right there.
Happy episode 17, everybody. Go ahead and check us out. Spotify, YouTube, Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, all the good stuff. And then, Fish, I got one thing to say to you. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Oh.
There we go, baby. Browns getting that dub tonight against the Broncos. We'll see you guys all next Thursday. Much love, everybody. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you being here. And if you don't mind, show us some love on some of those social media platforms. It means a lot to us. Everybody have a good rest of the night.
Sir.
Enjoy the football game. Much love, everybody.
See you next week.
Yeah, Frindt won't be here, unfortunately, but
yeah, he's already dead.
Yeah, he's dead. That'll just be the last shot we have. We'll keep that shot on there. for all the upcoming podcasts. Frint's face
That's
right,
so perfect.
right before he got. So.
Oh my god, that's so funny. I love it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Much love. Episode 17 has been completed. 18 next week. Looking forward to 20. We got a giveaway coming with episode 20, guys. Much love. Talk to you all very soon.
Peace.
Bye-bye now. Go Browns.